Hello. This video will be with regards to how to do the chain rule and what is the chain rule in calculus. In calculus, we aspire to be able to take the derivatives of various functions. And sometimes our functions are composition functions, meaning it's one function stuffed into another function. And so the chain rule is basically a method that allows us to figure out how we can take the derivative of such a function. And the chain rule states that given two functions f and g of x, if we define h to be their composition of x, meaning if we let h of x be f composed with g of x, which recall that this is equivalent to g of f of x, then their derivative, h prime of x, is equal to g prime of f of x multiplied times f prime of x. Now we will discuss what this means here, but this right here is the chain rule. This says that for a composition function, h of x, which is a composition of two different functions, its derivative can be computed by doing this operation. We'll take a simple example. Let f of x be 2x, let g of x be 1 over x. Notice that h of x is f composed with g of x. That means it's equal to g of 2x, which means then that's 1 over 2x. This is what our h of x is. H of x is 1 over 2x. Let's take the derivative of h of x, okay? dx of h of x, we know that it should be equal to this stuff. But I'll show you a simple way to do it that is also equivalent to that way. ddx of h of x, okay, that's the derivative differential operator on 1 over 2x, okay? Now, prior to taking a derivative of this, we would have to do the quotient rule, and we don't want to do that. What we want to do is represent this as a negative power. There you go. Then whenever you take the derivative of it, you use the power rule. That negative 2 is because negative 1 minus a 1 is a negative 2. Here's the part that you got to remember. The chain rule is next. You got to take the derivative of the inside right here without the negative 2 involved. You have to take ddx of this 2x. This results in negative 2x raised to the negative 2 power times this 2, because the derivative of 2x is just 2. So we end up getting that this is equal to negative 2 all over 2x raised to the second power in the denominator now. Whenever I square that, I get negative 2 all over 4x squared, and that cancels out to be negative 1 over 2x squared. This is what our h prime of x is right here. Negative 1 over 2x squared. I'll show you that that method of doing it, which is very simple and easy, is the same thing as this method of doing it, which seems difficult. First, let's compute f prime of x. F prime of x is equal to the differential operator acting on the 2x, which is just 2. So f prime of x is 2. All right, that was easy enough. Now, what's g prime of f of x? Well, it's g prime of, what is my f of x? It's 2x. And g prime means take the derivative of. So ddx of g of 2x, and g of 2x really is 1 over 2x. The prime part just says ddx outside. This is the prime part. This prime part gives me this ddx. Then it's basically ddx operate on g of 2x. And since g of x was 1 over x, g of 2x will be 1 over 2x. Next, we take the derivative in the same fashion as we did earlier. We re-represent it as 2x to the negative 1 power. Then we apply power rule. This becomes minus 2. And at this point, we're done. This becomes negative 1 all over 2x raised to the second power. And whenever you square a 2x, you get a 4x quantity squared. So this is what my g prime of f of x is. And notice when I multiply those two, this multiplied times that, I get 2 multiplied times negative 1 over 4x squared. And this gives me a negative 2 over 4x squared, which reduces to negative 1 all over 2x squared. Notice that our answers are the same because doing this way and doing that way are the same thing. The chain rule is actually very simple. Now, most of the problems that you have to do with the chain rule will be slightly more complicated than this. And so let's do a more complicated problem where the composition of functions is a little bit more slippery. Let's get f of x is equal to the square root of 2x minus 1. Let's get g of x is equal to 1 over x minus 1. All right? Then let's say h of x should be f composed of g of x, meaning it's equal to g of f of x, meaning it's equal to g of our f of x, which is the square root of 2x minus 1. Then I plug that into my g of x, then I get 1 over square root of 2x minus 1 out here. So this is what my h of x is. All right. Now, what is h prime of x? That is the question. Well, by the chain rule, we know it's equal to g prime of f of x times f prime of x. All right. What is f prime of x? Well, f prime of x is d dx of f of x, which is square root of 2x minus 1. Now, recall that the square root, I'll just rewrite the d dx. The square root can be thought of as a power of 1/2. So when I take the derivative, that 1/2 comes down, 2x minus 1 raised to the 1/2 minus the 1 becomes a negative 1/2, times, we have to take the derivative of the inside function. What's on the inside? d dx of 2x minus 1. So then this is equal to negative 1/2 times 2x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2 times the derivative of this guy, which is just 2, because when the derivative hits this, the x goes away and I just get a 2. When the derivative hits that, it's just a constant, so it becomes 0. So this is 2. So the 2 cancels out with this 1/2. So I get negative 2x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2, which is really negative 1 over square root of 2x minus 1. That is what my f prime of x is. So we have this part. Now what is g prime of f of x? G prime of f of x is merely g prime of square root of 2x minus 1. All right? And the prime part just says do the d dx. The g part says stick this into my function. So this is d dx of 1 over square root of 2x minus 1 minus 1. All right? So again, to take the derivative, I'll re-represent this whole thing as a power of negative 1. Okay. Then we take the derivative, minus 1/2 comes down. The minus 1 comes down, and I get to the negative 2. Then it's d dx of the inside function, which is square root 2x minus 1, which then this is negative square root of 2x minus 1 raised to the negative 2 power, times the derivative of this guy. When the derivative hits this minus 1, it becomes a 0. When the derivative hits this entity, it's really 2x minus 1 to the negative 1/2 to the 1/2 power. So the 1/2 comes down, and I get 2x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2 times d dx of the inside. Okay, so this part just becomes a 2 from our previous calculation. This 2 cancels out with this 1/2. So what I end up getting here is 1 over, and it's a negative 1, this square root of 2x minus 1 squared times this 2x minus 1. Now I'm sure that's kind of hard to see, but what's most important is that you understand how to do the chain rule, and you're hearing me verbally say it. So I'm going to do one more example, one that hopefully fits on the board. And I'm not going to do it in this whole chain rule format. I'm just going to do it like so. Let's say you want to take the derivative. Let's say we have a function f of x is equal to 2x divided by square root of 3x minus 1. How do we take the derivative of this guy? Well, one might say, well, you need the quotient rule, and then you need the chain rule, and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. All you do is represent this as 2x times square root of 3x minus 1 raised to the minus 1 power. Furthermore, that just brings this up here. Notice that, as a matter of fact, I can expertly rewrite this as 2x divided by quantity 3x minus 1 raised to the 1/2 power. So when it comes up, and it's more obvious this way, it becomes 2x times 3x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2 power. Now, this is my f of x. What is f prime of x equal to? Well, now we take a product rule instead of a quotient rule, and there will be a chain rule involved as well. Notice that f prime of x is now, we take the derivative of these two functions. This can be called, this 2x can be a function in and of itself. Call it psi x. This function can be a derivative of itself, call it phi x. So f prime of x is going to be psi prime of x times phi of x plus phi prime of x times psi of x. Okay? So this is equal, psi is 2x, so psi prime is going to be just a 2. Phi is 3x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2 power, so that's all we write, that's all it is. We haven't taken the derivative of this guy yet. Plus, now we're going to take the derivative of phi. This ends up becoming negative 1/2 times 3x minus 1 raised to the negative 3/2 power, because subtracting a 1 from a 1/2 gives me a negative 3/2. Okay? Multiply times what psi of x is, which is our 2x. So, upon doing this, do not forget that you also need to do the chain rule. Something that needs to occur here is before I even write this 2x here, before the 2x comes out here, 2x, because that's what the psi of x is, I have to also multiply this times d dx of the inside function of this phi, which is the 3x minus 1. So that means this will be equivalent to 2 times 3x minus 1 raised to the negative 1/2 power minus 1/2 times this 3x minus 1 raised to the negative 3/2 power times the derivative of this guy, which this will just going to be 3 times the 2x, so it's going to be 6x. So this is what f prime of x would be.